Hello, welcome back to my channel. Let's take a look at my March flip-throughs, reflections, what I've been up to, and discussions. Now, do excuse me if I get my astrological stuff mixed up, because I started the Deacon Walk, and it's apparently confusing the living doodads out to me, as in whether I'm in the Deacon Walk or if I'm in my astrological signs. So just give me leniency today. Why do I like this book so much? This is my Moon Diary 2023 from the Flickering Cauldron, was available on Etsy. Give the owner, creator a shout. She may have some lying around spare in stock, but these usually sell out before September of every year. So if you want one of these, you will need to be on that list and pre-ordering long before Christmas comes, because otherwise you're not going to get it, or you won't get it in time, because the postal strikes and things that we seem to have every year around Christmas to add to our fun are crazy. So I get an overview of the new moon, full moons monthly here. We get a lovely little welcome from Letty and Chris. It does have, so this is set up for British time. It does have alternative time trackers to work out the moons and things for your area, if that makes any sense to any of you. So I don't need that, so I've just stuck over, I have a monthly tracker there. You get the important dates calendar, and I put a tab on this so I can come back to it if I ever want to. And it tells you the names of the moons, and also you have your new moons and your dates there as well. And when I say moons, I mean the full moons. It gives you information on the aspects as it goes through: new moon, waxing, waning, full, quarters. So those are in here as well. For the purpose of the video, I've stuck a paperclip in. We have the planetary association, so really basic associations for planets, which is what I do like. We have, at the moment, I'm particularly looking at, for instance, the Sun in Mars. So those are two that I'm currently kind of looking at with that Deacon Walk. We have the zodiac moon astrological symbols. And with the Deacon Walk, I'm also looking heavily on Aries right now. And then I'll be going into the next section, second house. I'm assuming will be Pisces. So we shall see where we go with that. No, am I back to front? I think I'm back to front already. Do you see what I mean? So scrap whatever I just said there. I know we're in Aries. So it must be Taurus because it's the next one down. Genius. And then where are we? Coming this way. So what I will do is I'm just going to put that there a second. Here I have my monthly pulls with my keywords, you know, the instant keyword that I got from the card, not necessarily one that you might recognize. So the instant keyword that came to mind, and you can see I've got lots of missing spaces again on here where I might have pulled the card, didn't really come up with a keyword because I probably come up with a phrase or a saying or something else. And days that I've missed. It's just been last month and this month, really kind of weird energies. Did anyone else notice that? Really, really weird energies? Last week, what are we now? Today is the 5th. So Friday last week, the end of 30th of March, really weird energies, lots of strange behaviour around. So we were starting the month out, we were in Pisces. We had the magical herb of time. I didn't use time actually. I planned on getting some and I didn't, and that's okay. It was the healing dragon of amethyst. Again, I didn't work with amethyst this month. And then, as you see, just going through the month, I have popped in, as I felt, information, my keywords. We had the worm moon was the March moon, full of. So we had a let it go quick ritual that's come in here with lots of correspondences to use. And we had this lovely bit on the Ostara spring equinox. And I'm not sure, somebody can correct me. I think that is actually Ostara or Esther. Beautiful image. And we have some recipes for deviled eggs, which my gran used to do. So. And you can see here I started the Deacon Walk. And then that's where my up-to-date correspondences kind of flew out of my head because I was trying to hold those in my head, what's going on. And apparently my brain doesn't do two things at once. We had the March new moon. and just going through again some gorgeous artwork, and we're moving into the second decan, so I've kind of marked that on there. And I've even put here, look, weird chaotic energy, Friday the 31st, not 30th, Friday the 31st. And we have information there on dragon's blood. New moon and full moon intentions, settings that you might want to put in there, correspondences that you're working with, my spending habits, which are outrageous. Just trying to see. What did we buy? So I think I was after a book. Did I get the book? I cannot remember. I wrote Witch's book. No idea what that means. A hoop frame, yes. Sticky pens. I did do some sewing. No, I don't have it here to show you. Lots of sewing stuff, sewing kits, because I had a long weekend and I thought I could complete a sewing challenge in a weekend, and apparently no, you can't. And then we're into April. So that's the quick overview of the Flickering Cauldron Moon Diary 2023, my daily pulls journal, aka, and you know, anything else, wonderings. And then we have my usual, my A5 Kinbor for this year. I'll just pop that in there. That's some stickers of little plants I've got, so just keep ephemera, should we say. I have ephemera tucked into my diary. How special do I feel? I'm kidding. And then I have added these bits of washi tape from last time. So it's building. That is building. Here we are, March. I have my, from the Wheel of the Year, tarot card and oracle cards pulled and written in. So we had, for the energy of March, we had Queen of Air, healthy boundaries, self-esteem, clear communication, words of healthy boundaries, really interesting word have come up for this one. My intentions are in alignment with my understanding of self and others. Yeah, I've got people trying to break my boundaries and I'm not quite sure why, what they plan to achieve by it, but clearly having a good understanding of my own healthy boundaries, it just makes it easier to, you know, be yourself and be authentic. The talisman, you are always protected and directed. Your inner warning system lets you know when things are not right. So I have just put here, tread carefully this month. There are lots of shady people about. Never has a truer word been spoken. And then my decks. So I've used for daily pulls the Fairy Tarot, for weekly tarot, the Zillich, for weekly oracle, oracles of shadow and light. Extra spread, I pulled out the Wildwood Tarot for the OM spreads that Longmans Tarot is doing. He has a channel on YouTube, but I usually find his spreads on his Facebook page, which he isn't advertising on his spreads, so I'm not quite sure where to direct you anymore for those. You can look up Longmans Tarot on Facebook if you have it and see if you can find his spreads, because he puts them up for everyone to use. Or it might be on a community tab, perhaps on his other channel, and it just doesn't show on my feed. But they're well worth looking into. We have the introspection, my introspection deck. I pulled the Hush Tarot by Jeremy Hush, and an unplanned deck was the Secret Pocket Oracle that came off the shelf a couple of times. So my week ahead spread, it's still much like you think it's going to look. Of course, my ephemera maybe has changed up in style. I decided to try and make my headings look a bit more artistically decorative. Failed miserably with that one, I think, but hey, it's mine. And yeah, colour is on my page, so I've got different coloured pens. Just trying to brighten it up, and with my washi tape. This is actually some of my favourite washi tape, to be honest. I just like the little white bright colours that run down the side of my page. And again, here we have my week ahead, my cards, my reflection on what I've got. The kind of three outcomes that came from that really was question, digest and release. Now, if I'd thought about those I would have used them for my reflections as a spread, but I also think maybe that could become a spread on its own. So anyway, interesting. And this was where I wasn't expecting it. So because of the outcome of this spread, basically 2 cards every time came out for use, which I wasn't looking for. So I just got 2 for every part of the spread. And that's when I pulled the Secret Pocket Oracle out. And with that, again, that usually throws out multiple cards, and that's exactly what I did. So I took the multiple cards, I've wrote about them, the keywords, and then sort of my thoughts and feelings on what's going on. And then with regards to reflections, so for this week ahead, because as you know, it's for my working week, this is where I did some cross stitching basically. I only worked Tuesday, the rest was annual leave, and therefore it was only really about one day of work, as it turned out, because I forgot I had annual leave booked, which was a lovely, lovely treat. I'd have the busy person spread, and I'm so sorry, I don't know where this spread came from. I haven't written down the creator. So if you know the creator for the busy person spread, please pop it in comments. But I thought what I'll do is I'll demonstrate this one. I took a picture and I've wrote my thoughts and reflections here. I'm not 100% sure if that was the layout for the busy person spread, but it's the one that I've decided that I wanted to use. So again, I just know I had the questions and that was it. So I've created a layout and we'll see what you think. And then I have a week ahead again here. So March 20th to 24th. So there's my cards. This time I didn't have a reflective point to put in. So I've got a nice bit of blank paper there. I could have doodled, but I didn't fancy it. And I have my oracle card and then my reflections, opportunity, challenge and outcome for the week past. Here's my new moon spread. This one is by Revolution on Instagram, and it is, what does that say? See if I can bring it up for you. So Beck, lunacy, sacred power, cycles, mood. No idea what that means. That's probably where I got taken to from this spread. Anyway, so there's a spread for this one. What is this new moon about for me? What wants to emerge? What do I need to release? How can I focus and manifest my desires? Affirmation for this cycle. And it's a 5-card spread. That one you could use for any new moon, so it's not a specific new moon spread, so that was quite nice. We had the older tree spread, so this is the one from Longmans Tarot, and as I said, he puts them as YouTube, so yeah, you can go and have a look over there as well if you want to. See if you can find it. And he's given us our little intention. Fill me with strength to defend what I believe in. Let me never doubt myself, even when others do. Help me heal after my trauma and let it go. Blessed be. And then we have his questions here. So 6 questions. Here's our Om, because I think these are being done in the shape of the Om. And I actually didn't do a reflection on the spread there either. So you can see what I've done is I've pulled the cards, I've written the card name and some words that I associate to it. And then usually I kind of wrap up on a short reflection. But this one I didn't. So I've left it there. And I use the Wildwood Tarot to do these for anyone that's wondering. So all the OM spreads are the Wildwood Tarot. I haven't pulled it out today because I've showed it in so many videos now, but that is what I use. And I use my standard RWS stickers to go alongside it, which is why I write the name. So the magician in the Wildwood is called the shaman. So I write the name of the card if it's different. The devil is called the guardian. And that's what I do. Okay, so I just put those in there and then the words underneath. And in the Wildwood book, there was a pathway spread. So I wrote it down and I had every intention to come and do this, but actually life was too busy and I never came back to it. So you have to really consider your question as you begin to shuffle. So what is it you want to know on this pathway spread? Then it's going to tell me the action to avoid, the issue at hand, and action to take. So yeah, I was really curious to just play with that one and get it done. Now I did say I've started a Deacon Walk, not a pretty page. I don't think it needs to be. This is just simply notes and rough. So we started the Deacon Walk. Marlene Therese is doing it on YouTube and she invited people to come join her. I have put and moon phases. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with the moon phases. I have done a how I might approach the Deacon Walk video, so you can find that on my channel, and you'll see that I've experimented and played with it. So I'm not running at it at a high level astrology study session. I'm running at it as a kind of card aspect knowledge building session. So here I've wrote half a clue and no idea. It's fire energy. So Deacon 1, as we started, that's where we are. So we were in the, it starts with the 2 of Wands. It's Mars in Aries. So I wrote symbols. The cards were Tower and Emperor to work with the 2 of Wands. And then I just put loads of other things that I want to associate with it. So I've got the 2 of Wands would be carnelian for a stone. Chakra, excuse me, to me it's fire and solar plexus. That's to me, so it might not be to you. It's based in the Earth quarter, so roots. And then I've got herbal astrology cards or herbal cards that go with the associations. I've got the Queen of Wands here. I just kind of like laid up lots of things. And then each day, every so often, I'd write again because we're still in that section, and then what else goes with it. So just kind of pulling in, like if the moon moved. And here I've kind of started trying to like get familiar with symbols. So I was drawing symbols. I'm not sure what I was doing here. So we're in the first house. For some reason I wrote second house, third house. I think I was just getting myself confused because I was following the moon through my diary, not the deacons. And then I wrote a key for my symbols over here. I've wrote other things that you can use. So correspondences is the word I'm looking for, isn't it? Gemstones, crystals, zodiac signs, months, chakras, healing. I've ordered a set of playing cards. I couldn't get a blank set of cards. So I've ordered a set of playing cards, and I'm going to do something with them. Linking into this to create a study deck, but that's where I'm at. And then 31st of March, moving into the second decan of Aries, and I put my information down there as well. Lots of it stayed the same, other than we moved into the Sun in Aries. We came out of Mars in Aries into the Sun in Aries, and we were into the Three of Wands on the second decan, so it will last for sort of 10 days. Here we have another week ahead spread, and as you can see, kind of a bit more somber feeling on this one, a little bit of blackness going on here. It's interesting really how my colours like play. So I've got lots of dark colour and then thrown in some like nice brightness. And then we're into April. So let's come back to, let's take a look at this busy person spread before we do anything else, or no. We will come back and look at the busy person spread. How about that? Let's just quickly see what the decks were. So my oracle that I was using weekly is this one, Shadows of Light. And I have actually taken off as much of the border as I could without kind of damaging too much of the cards. So you can see I've brought it down because the cards aren't all exactly even on both sides. So I've lost some of the gold there. So I just did what I could without causing too much issue and losing too much of the numbers on the top. So this was my oracle for the week. Let's just it's not 100% on my trim, but it's pretty good actually. I was pretty pleased with it. Either way, I get the difficult cards on the front. So that was that one. And then I had the US Games Tarot in a Tin, Zillich Tarot by Christine Zillich. You all know I love a tarot in a tin. These are the backs. I'm not sure, people get really narked about this. They do have these on them. Doesn't really make any difference to me. I don't understand what the fuss is, but we're all each to our own, aren't we? So and again, this would usually be a 3-card sort of spread, and that would be how my spread would look. The middle card would be my energy, and then I'd choose, it depends, like I think it changes depending on my mood, which one's focus, which one's embrace, which one's a challenge, which one's moving forwards. There's no kind of set for it. So here we'd have, so my energy would be the 10 of Cups. We have the 6 of Wands for perhaps the focus or the challenge, where I need to focus my energy on what's going on, and then what I need to embrace from this to move forwards. We have the Fool, so taking through the newness from the 6 of Wands victory. So new challenges, new aspects, new perhaps new creations being given to me. And I did try to use the keywords that are on this tarot, because this has keywords, so I did try to use them. We also have Hebrew letters on these, because it is kind of thoth inspired. And then as our overall energy, then we have the Ghost of the Pumpkin Patch. So just take another look at another spread there. So my energy is the 3 of discs, so work, hard work, collaboration, working with others, teamwork, team building. We have the focus is Queen of Cups, so for me that's that kind of patience, emotions. I work in a hospital, so Queen of Cups to me always also brings in focusing on the nurses around me, and Ace of Discs for embracing, so some new skills coming through perhaps, or a new task, a new job at hand. Sort of matches the other one. And then we have strangely lonely, holding on way too tight, so getting rid of that to move forwards. And this spread, so we have the 7 of Discs, which actually says failure, which is interesting, isn't it? Because that's not usually where we go with 7 of Pentacles or 7 of Discs. My energy of the week, however, would be the Hierophant, so establishment and learning. And I have the 7 of Cups there, and it says debauch, so 2 sevens. And we have the Angel of Time, working too hard. That could result then, so that could be what's linking to the kind of poor feelings here, emotionally and physically with the discs. So in the material world, perhaps working too hard and therefore not attaining what you need to do. So there's going to be a lesson within all of that to slow down. And one last one. So for the energy, we have the Emperor. Focus, we have Queen of Swords. So here we have communication, focus, facts, getting it, just so. And we have the 9 of Wands for challenges or taking it forwards, embracing it. So, and that is strength. So there is strength in what's going on in the spread. And we have the Grumpy Red Fairy, be your true self. Well, that would be me then, the Queen of Swords. So I would be being my true self. I'm less Empress, I'm more Queen of Swords. So those are those. It's just nice to see them play out on a table, isn't it, sometimes? But that's how my spreads work. I know lots of people do these sorts of spreads. I do that just for showing cards, but it's not actually how my spread looks. So it's not really the key focus of my readings and what I do. I may go there and try that and give it a real good try, but I don't use Oracle as my focus. I use my tarot cards as my focus and my Oracle as my wrap-up. So it's just a little bit different in my personal practice for those. So those were my weekly. And then for my daily, I would use these if I needed to. And I was using the Low Scarabeo Fairy Tarot from my tarot collection subscription that I have coming in. Otherwise, this would never have probably made it into my collection. And I really like it, really like it. It's probably the second month in which I've used it, but this one became my daily drawers, and I do like the backs, the whimsy, the colours. So just as a daily card pull, let's bring you down a bit closer. Sorry, don't want to make you sick. Just take a few off. Just as a general kind of daily card pull, it was nice. I didn't always put these down, but sometimes I did just for a bit more guidance. I love that little moon card. So we've got the moon with the pink lotus fairy, a time for spirit. So because to me they're kind of moon gazing, and so yeah, I thought that was, you get some really nice mixes. How is this for a chariot? That is a beautiful chariot. If I had this deck at the time that I did my 7 chariot cards VR to Orshi, this would have made it in there. And then we have Witch at the End of the World, an important end, a new beginning. Chariot. So message-wise, they kind of like went nicely together. Here we have our King of Pentacles, I do believe, looking at my chess piece on the top, with the 2 little witches, magical space clearing time. He does look a little bit grumpy though, doesn't he? Like he needs some pep up, some zhuzh. Here's our alchemy card. She's kind of doing it upside down. Or it feels like it's upside down. And Voodoo in blue, back off. So there we go. So that is those. And then just so you can see some more of these. Just to give you an idea, because sometimes more than one popped out in a reading. And I've explained before, I think in the walkthroughs, they are half pip, half illustration on these. And they do have a slightly different kind of take. But how is that for a wheel card? Wheel of Fortune. I like the leaves for air. Saturn is little. But yeah, Queen of Hearts. Breaks them. So there we go. So that's the fairy tarot. I think you can guess, can't you? It's sort of managed to sweep its way into a little soft spot, a little soft place in my collection. And of course the Hush Tarot, which I did use. I use this one, as I've said, this is one of the rare occasions where I have a deck that I use for a specific purpose. This one is shadow work because the book brings a very different meaning to what's going on in the cards. The cards, I don't kind of always get the image first off looking at these. So that's why I like to use the book for this deck. People refer to it as dark and dead and decayed. I have to say, I don't really look at it like that. Maybe because it's the book that I really focus on for the message. So I get my kind of primary inspiration on the cards. And perhaps it's the colour that I focus on more so than what's actually in the picture. Because sometimes when I look really closely at the picture, I'm like, oh yeah. Like this one, to me, I just always saw a merry-go-round. But today I'm examining the pictures before I put them down in front of you. And now I'm seeing a kind of like black goat. And I'm wondering, is the goat a safe goat? Because, you know, the horned goats and things, everyone then kind of like goes back to the Baphomet. And in this day and age, everyone then relates that to other practices. And yeah, you know, the connotations that come with that. But there's lots of birds and flight. And it's a very sort of airy deck with all the owls and animals. It sort of feels, although there's a lot in the image, there's also space in the image, if that makes any sense. So this one, there's not a lot else going on in the background. So it's really the primary image. And then, you know, that's it. So we have our Seven of Pentacles and she's carrying a key. So we have an archway. So it's like that kind of moving through something with your luggage in hand. And she also has purple threads and ribbons on her. So there's a sort of spiritual knowledge assessment there. You could even look at the crow on her shoulder as perhaps her guide taking her through. So there's lots of corvidae type animals. And again, I haven't examined them thoroughly. I haven't looked into what types they are. I know that there are a big difference between crows and ravens. But I'm not sure of the different kind of magical associations with them. And now I'm just rambling, so we should be quiet. But the Sun and Moon cards in this deck, I do really, really like. Don't know if I can find the moon. There we go. There's our moon, the Sun and Moon. Really like those. So yeah, this is my shadow worky, introspection, deep dive deck, and the the Oracle of Vampires would be another deck that I would put with this one, but Oracles of Shadow and Light is perfectly okay with this as well. In fact, let's just quickly. The images have enough sort of darkness in them to play together. And I don't know, it's like sometimes similarities because this has got lots of very weird eyes in it, and this has like the big eyes because it's a Lucy Cavendish deck with Jasmine Beckett Griffiths as the artist. So it's one of the big-eyed girl kind of decks that people are now affectionately referring to them as. So that's that one. Okay. Let's just pop that one away. If I can tidy up as I go, it's always good. Just pop those in there. Right, so I have one more deck that turned out to be a random. I didn't expect to be pulling it down off my shelf, and I did. That's Millie's Secret Pocket Oracle, which you know I do like. I've done a live recently with Clementia's Creative Cartomancy channel on YouTube. Please ignore the state of the video because it turns out that I had no broadband width that day, and it's shocking. More shocking. My face is more shocking in that than it is the cards that I'm using. But it's what it is, you know. It's more about the conversation than the visual. You don't actually need to see me to hear what I'm saying. But this is just one of those lovely little decks. This is the Dulux edition. It's not the mini version because I wouldn't be able to shuffle that and play with it nicely. But I like this one. It's different from what I usually use. It gives a very different vibe, a different meaning. I do use a little guide for this. I haven't created my own guide for it yet. I really need to. I should pull my finger out and do that. But I have to be using this permanently to get my full intuitive hit. So just sat here now, pulling it out and cold reading it. It's going to take me a while to work out what the cards are saying, if that makes sense. When I'm into it and I've used it for a couple of days in a row, I know what's coming. Like I'm in tune with the pictures, the images, the words, and I can just sort of then like read it a bit more like a Lenormand, but I can't read Lenormand because this doesn't have any meanings. Therefore, I can like make my sentence with the pictures. So that was my kind of outlier deck. So let's come back to the busy person spread. And I think this is a spread pattern that I made up. So the oracle went in the middle. So let's just pull you out a bit. So my oracle went in the middle. So this was card 6, basically. What have we got here? 6 and 2 is card 2. So put those 2 there. So I have the 6 Pentacles, 2 of Swords. The Star was card 1. So I think I was drawing a pentagram basically. The Knight is card 4. Put that down there. It's not all going to fit on the screen again because I haven't thought about this very well. Where are we going? 3 of Pentacles. There we go. And this one must come down here. That was a bit taxing on the old grey matter. Okay, so there's my spread. We have a nice little, so you can see the pentacle starting card and a position of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So starting with 1. How can I be more confident and purposeful? How can I be more confident and purposeful? Because I'm busy. So card 1, we have the Star. Interesting, the Star, because how do you read the Star in one of those positions? The first words that came to me looking at this, because we have it in there, it says hunting we will go, and that's exactly what I've written down, a hunting we will go. And then I've written follow your inner compass, you are a very powerful, strong person, embrace each day as anew. So in order to be a more confident and purposeful person, take it day by day, because there's a lot going on. So day by day, doing the things that you need to do that are important on each day or each hour of the task. So not trying to set it all up and ready to fail. It'll be more like setting up so that you can achieve things in a realistic time frame and manner. And that will give you confidence, because the more you fail, the more your confidence gets knocked. Or me personally, that's how it works for me. So not setting myself up to fail. Card 2, what tasks can I delegate or share the load with? So 6 of Pentacles. Interesting, because we have scales there. So we've got sharing. And then I have the 2 of Swords, which we know. So her eyes are kind of whited out. So instead of a thing wrapped around her eyes, a bit of fabric, help. Instead of having her eyes blanked out, they're kind of whited out. So is she really seeing what's going on? Is that like a film over her eyes? Is she like failing to see through the clear lenses of what's actually happening around her? Is that like a protective lens over her eyes, stopping her from seeing what's going on? We have the 2 cats as well, of curiosity. just in the background. So I have written for these two with regards to delegating, sharing the load. What causes you the most anxiety? So is that why my eyes are covered? Because I have anxiety and I can't look. So whatever it is that causes me anxiety is the thing to share the burden of. And there's a need to gain insight on why it makes me indecisive. So that would be maybe some shadow work for me as to why it's causing me an issue, but that would be it. So whatever it is that causes me the most anxiety, that's the load I need to share and unburden from myself, rather than holding it in and getting more wrapped up in my feelings. 3, what needs my attention to complete first? Here we are. So we have the Ace of Wands, and we have a little bird with a lovely pink flower on top of a person who's looking a little bit kind of freaked out, if you want. There's a bit of a scary eyeball in the picture. So I have written down, what is first to your mind? What is on your mind? Because, we have the bird sat on the temple, really. So it's almost like she's sat on the mind and eyeballing, like questioning. So start with this and empty your mental weights. It's my answer to what needs my attention to complete first. I need to empty my mental weights, probably by unburdening and sharing my anxieties. That's probably my biggest mental weight. So what is my mental weight? And let's give it away. And that's there. Then I have 4. What tasks can I drop, leave? That's this one. What tasks can I drop or leave or that aren't important? And this is the Knight of Pentacles. And this little bird is sat on a hand, and we also have a key. So the key is there, you have what you need. Building a nest is going on here, and the hands are sort of in like a little, looks like that little like prey position, with the bird sat on top. So, or is that the position, because that can also be seen in the triangle, isn't it? The position of power. So, because I can't see where the thumbs are, I can only see sort of this. I'm not sure what else is happening down below. So are you in a place of power, or are you in a place of still anxiety? So with the 4, I have written, don't stress about the mundane. You work really hard to create stability and security. And again, you have that emphasised with the bird collecting threads and things for the nest. And we have the key there, and with the hands poised. So I think at the time of reading this, I was reading that as, like that kind of working hard, thinking, pondering, getting stuff done sort of hand gesture. And then we have card number 5. So, who can help me to complete my daily tasks? And I have the 3 of Cups. That's quite simple. Friends and family, those around you. Those who are knowledgeable and armed with the skills in the topics that you need the help with. So whatever it is I'm anxiety stressing about, who has the skills and topics to help me? Those are the people I should be going to. So whatever this is, and I'm unloading from here, this is where I go. This is how I move forward. It's these people that are going to help me do that. And again, I could have linked that to, if I wanted to, I could link this whole reading to work-related issues, Cups, nurses, as I've said before. So that would be the girls around me, just helping with some of the tasks, perhaps, that are related to things that they know about and that they can easily share with me. And then the final card in the middle, number 6, the words of wisdom from spirit moving forwards. So we have the Fairy of the Highlands, and she says it's time to be brave. So never has a reading kind of gone as well together, I don't think. For me, I don't know if you can see it, but to me, like that just links into all of these things. You need to find your mental imbalances. You need to share your loads, the anxieties, face them head on, moving forwards, giving it away, helping people to get you to overcome all this. So we've got the Highland Fairies, and I also wrote there, time to speak your truth, be strong, honour yourself. So that is the busy person spread. And again, I'm so sorry, I do not know where that spread came from. I just had I've jotted down the questions, wrote the title, and that was all I had. So I hope that gives you a spread, maybe even for yourself to work with. And again, if you know where this spread came from, please share in comments, because it would be nice to recognise the creator for that one, because I really enjoyed that spread, and I'll probably pull that up again at some point. I don't see that as the end of that particular working for that one. So those are my journals. Now let's take a quick peek. I say quick, it's going to take me ages, isn't it? Deacon walk. This is just what I'm using. I'm not going to go into what's going on. So Susan Chang, the 36 Secrets, a Deacon Journey through the minor arcana of the tarot. So it's 36 minor arcana, 2 to 9 each suit. Those make your deacons, your basic deacons. And this is kind of a personal journey through. It has information on each card. It tells you what cards are in each deacon. It gets you your basics, and it's very good. You can dip in and out for the meanings. She gives you her own personal anecdotes on the meanings, and some of it is a bit dense for me, as I've said in my video. At the point of pulling this up, it just felt like some dense text. I tried to read it once before. I failed miserably. But you have your deacon wheel, so you can see what's going on for the year. And you also have the Tree of Life in here as well, with the correspondences in the Hermetic alphabet to the Tree of Life on there. And I think that's where also your cards are. So if you look into this, you can see symbols within the Tree of Life and numbers that will relate to the Deacon Walk. So there's that one to use if you need it. And I thought, no, it's not this one. Okay, so that is one of the books. There's been lots of brilliant recommendations. I also have this one, Kabbalah and the Tarot Spirit. Haven't read it, but this has some amazing stuff in it. This is by Pamela Eakins, who is a PhD. And I'm not sure, because this says books 1, 2 and 3. So I'm guessing she's done 3 books and they're all in here. As you see, it's paperback, soft edition. And this is why I have it, because it links into, again, Kabbalah, the Tree of Life. There are spreads in here to do. In the back, she has tables and symbols. And then we have our Tree of Life. It's got a huge contents for this one. And at the back, let me get there. These are reference books. These are dip in and out of. These are things I won't read cover to cover, back to back, page for page. I'll probably never read all the pages in this, if I'm being honest. So we here. Appendices, glossary. So we have a glossary of symbols, geometric symbols. So she lists them nicely, and this is what I like about this book. Symbols of nature, animal beings. We have mystical beings, human beings, attire, accessories, architectural symbols. We have the astrological correspondences here, and you can see the symbols again. We have the zodiac elemental, we're calling them triplicities. So there we have the fire, the water, the air, the earth. Astrological correspondences for all the cards are here. The 2s, the 2 of fire. So we have Aries and the Emperor. So Mars. Where are we? The 3s, the 3 of fire, 3 of wands, birth of light, and then we have the sun in Aries. So that does follow the T. Susan Chang book. We have the major arcana and symbols. We have, so radiant colours, working with colours, predominant colours, musical notes. I know this is something that also Benabel Wen talks about. We have these 10 Powers of Love. I haven't dipped into these, so I can't really talk about those. And they have quick references for tarot and stuff, and lots of extra reading suggestions. So that is one book that I have for just if I'm feeling like nerdy, I will dip into. I like, and I've mentioned this in grimoire type videos, the almanacs. So here is the seasonal almanac to 2023 for England by Leah Leendertz. This one has, I really like it because it's done month by month. So we're into April. So you get a nice little picture, which was sort of reminding me of the Zillich Tarot when I was using it. You get dates of the year and different holidays and things that are celebrated. It gives you April at a glance. You get the sky at night. So it talks about sky at night, what's in the sky and when and where you might see it. It talks about solar system. It gives us sunrises and sunset charts. It gives us tide tables as well for the seas. We have the moon phases, which is really nice if you want to follow your moons. It tells you about gardening and what you might be talking about doing in the gardening, and also gardening to the moon. So gardening by the moon, first quarter, new moon to first quarter, last quarter. So for the gardeners, it always gives some recipes. So we have marzipan hot cross buns, because of course we're coming into the Easter Ostara session. So marzipan hot cross buns for those of you that like a hot cross bun. We also have a torta pasqualina. Of course, that is an Italian dish. And here we have, so I've stopped on the zodiac where we were talking about Aries. I've popped my ribbon in. So we have the symbol is the ram, planet is Mars, element is fire, colour is red, characteristics, strong, loyal, blunt, fiery, impulsive, energetic. Anyone know an Aries like that? And then it gives us some information. And this is the bit I do like. So last year I think we had sea shanties, and here we've got folk song for the Aries ram. So it gives us the tune and then it gives us the verses. It does talk a bit about nature, what we might find around our gardens, and then we move into May. So that is another resource that I have that I like to have, is the almanacs. They're about £10, but they are lovely little books to have on your shelf. As you can see, they're beautifully designed. It's just an easy one to carry around the house. I also have, so if anyone has this, Lo Scarabeo, the tarot compendiums. I have 1, 2 and 3. 3 is the one that I will be using as I move around the deacon wheel, because here we are. It has a massive, on page 176 of part 3 tarot compendium, we have the tarot and astrology master chart. So there it is. We are in Aries, and there we have it. We have so deacon 1, there's our Mars, and we have the 2 of Wands. We're now in the second deacon, so here's our Sun, and we have the 3 of Wands. And as we move around, it gives us our symbols and the cards. And we also have the elements there, so that's our quadrants, isn't it? So this quadrant here is the, what's it showing us here? So it's showing us Earth, Pentacles. So we have that there. It gives us the astrological signs, planets. We have some lovely correspondence charts here. Pictorial key to astrology. This is always nice, flower attributions. It's just got some nice bits you can like pop in and out of, taking, you know, what you want. I think these are nice kind of, you could probably scan these or take pictures of them and then drop them into your grimoire. It gives us numerology, so we can then pull in the numerological aspects with the deacon walk as we're going. We have sacred geometry, as we know that's a really big thing with the Kabbalah tree of life. It all links in. We have the numbers for the system, and it shows us a picture and where we are, and that goes through. Here's our 2, so we're on that section. There's our 3 and how it's kind of like working the triangle as we go round, and then we go into the square where we have stability. So it's, yeah, it is really nice. And there was another part in this book, but I might not find it. Oh yeah, and then it goes through each card. So lots, even including, and here you see the music pitch that goes with them as well. So plenty, absolutely plenty of information for me to pop in and out of. That's interesting. Shadow work and tarot. So there is lots in this book for me to play with. There was something further at the back. I think it was just a big colour pictorial of the majors on the Tree of Life. There we go. So we have a colour pictorial of the cards within the Tree of Life for the 22 majors. So there we go. And as I said, that is the Tarot Compendium Virgin 3 by Lo Scarabeo. These are about £23, well worth the money. There's, 600 odd pages in each compendium. And they are put together by a few authors, kind of Sasha Graham, I think, has helped compile them. But I did see like something in here. We had Mary Kay Greer. I'm sure I saw, was it in here for extra reading? Could have been in one of the other compendiums actually, but I did see like Mary Kay Greer, Robert M. Place. Talking about different ways of working with your cards, path working. Sasha Graham loves path working with cards. That was how I first kind of come across path working with her. It's not my thing to do, but she does that a lot in what she's up to. But yeah, these aren't just compiled by one person, so these are compiled by lots of people. All the information is put together. So the authors, here we go then. So we've got Giordano, Tali, Sasha, Marcus, Mark, Ricardo, Barbara Moore, Sasha Graham has edited and compiled the information together. And there's lots of good references to other people. So those are my books for that journey. As far as decks went, that also got a bit crazy. So I have the Elemental Tarot. I have the Oracle of the Radiant Sun by the same person, Caroline Smith and John Astrop. I have the Thoth. I have my Triumphs Pit Parade from Etsy. Love this deck. I have the Herbal Astrology. Not really taking that one very seriously. I have the Starcodes Astro Oracle. The Star Tarot, gorgeous deck, gorgeous book, because it kind of crosses a couple of different modes of working. And just to give you an idea where I'm at, I also am using the Moon Oracle, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco, because this one gives me the, I'm just using this going through the moon phases. So where I said I was using the moon phases. So tomorrow the 6th for me is the full moon, and it rises at something like 5 a.m. And so it'll be probably big in the sky tonight, to be fair. So it'll be around tonight, so I can use full moon energy tonight on the 5th. And then we have the waxing gibbous would be the waxing gibbous 6 action would be the other energy that I might use if I choose not to use the full moon power tonight. So I'll keep that for tomorrow, and I might be using action. So that's just something I flip through and just sit on my desk. Because I'm not at my desk, it's a bit jumbled to come here. As I say, the Star Tarot is a gorgeous book full of information, and I recommend it if you want to cross the bridge between Thoth and RWS and that kind of inner spiritual yearning for something a bit more. So this is the deck to definitely play with. This cardstock is gorgeous as well. So I have settled on the milk thistle and the nettle as my herbal astrology cards for the first decan whilst I'm in the first house of Aries. These are my Aries cards. There's a third card, can't remember what it's called, but I don't use it. I don't associate with it. I haven't really got a clue what it's about. So therefore I've just picked ones that I'm familiar with because there was 3. The quarter is the Ace of Pentacles, as I talked about. So there's earth, underlying earth, materialistic energy. We are under the Queen of Wands for the first 2 decans. I think we're moving to another one for the 3rd decan. And she is there. So she's bringing that fiery energy and that kind of spiritual aspects with her. I haven't changed that, have I? No, I haven't. So we're out of Mars. We're now into the Sun in Aries, although, Aries is still a fiery sign. So we are in Aries. We are in the 1st house. I need to change for the Sun. There's our Sun card. We are now on to the 3 of Wands with the Emperor. A different way of looking at it. Here we have the Sun, the 3 of Wands, the Emperor, and here we have my Elemental. So 3 of Wands from the Elemental, and we have the Sun in Aries from my Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. I hope that was enough for you. I will at some point do a look through my ancestral grimoire. It's a lot, people. It's a lot to do when you're working full-time and managing a house and building and still building it. So we'll get there slowly. It's a slow walk and it's a personal journey. And when I've got them, I will share them with you. But as I said with those, they won't be regular updates. I wish you all much love and light. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.